we've got to close the loop. Now, what I mean by this is because we do have the scaffolding that's there and we do have a methodology that's already selected, the methodology feeds the scaffolding because the method is the thing that we're looking at to be the arbiter of truth. It's not your sales manager. It's not the owner. It's not the owner's son. It's none of that. It's what you have that you're having them look at that is the truth of how we're going to look at somebody against. Okay? And so this could be, like I was saying previously, any of the sales methodologies that y'all were looking at, but it also could be straight up none of those, and it could be something you've adapted yourself. But you have to be able to take it away from you and put it on the method. Because it's very hard for us to have people that are willing to be coached and trained and improved and fail forward in front of everyone if it sounds like a personal attack. If it comes off as it being a you thing. Hey, you don't like them. You don't like how they said this. No, we need to look at it against method. Okay? Against the scaffolding that you had, against the OKRs, against the roll sheet, and be good there. Everybody following? Now, with this, we're looking at deliberate practice, and this is probably going to look like a heck of a lot more than a couple weeks. With the practice, we've obviously got the goals that we set out, and these should be, you should back into those. My recommendation would be, you don't have to do this, I would back into your goals based on the OKRs that you have in the roll sheet. So how much of a producing rep do you want this person to actually be? What do you want that to look like? Okay? You want to go ahead and get that in there, and we want the focus of them to be straight up that. Only on success. And everything should be sacrificed for that professionally, because after we have both the goals and the focus, we then have feedback, and then we have refinement. Now, the feedback part is where, again, AI can do this at scale so daggum fast with so much data. The refinement is where we are sitting here and we are back in front of everyone. Not only are we refining the prompts that we're using in whatever system, you can go as very basic as taking transcripts of all these recordings that we're talking about for a specific interaction or a customer that touched a couple of your people. Take those transcripts, drop them into front-end ChatGPT for $20, give them your source materials, like a framework, give them what you want them to focus on, and give a feedback part of the prompt in there as well with the transcripts, copy, paste, click go. It's gonna give you tighter feedback, adhering to what you have inside of your source materials, then you're gonna be able to do trying to parse all of that, because this might take you 3 weeks when you find the time to go through everything. The goal is quicker feedback. It's not about being perfect. It's not about adjusting off of one shot. It's about having more and more feedback loops to be in a position where people can get better. They've got to have the aptitude and attitude, but you can make them a whole lot better, a whole lot faster. Software agnostic. Use ProLine, use Plaid, use Claude, use whatever. I don't care what you use, but use something to go through this data a heck of a lot faster so that you're not making decisions today on stuff that happened 90 days ago. That's not really helpful for you. The duration between the feedback and the mess up, you want to close that distance as fast as possible. From a coaching perspective, I'm sure that most of y'all know this in here, doing a lot of stuff one-on-one with people. If somebody messes up, you want to give them the ability to talk through why they messed up and remedial action to take to make sure it doesn't happen again, and the actual answer here as fast as possible. You don't want to see on Monday, you do a ride-along and you see that they said some wild stuff in the ride-along, and then you wait till Friday to say something? How many other appointments are they gonna run? That doesn't make any sense, right? So the next thing that we're looking at on the feedback framework, what we were looking at for feedback, the first blank that you're looking for is standard. We're looking for setting the standard here, and that's going to be that methodology, those source documents that we're talking about. So number one, we're looking at standard, right? The number two that's here, we're looking to name the gap, okay? When we're talking about the thing that they need to do to get better. If you were just nonsense all on tonality, I need to let you know that your tonality is not where it needs to be, specifically in these phrases when you're talking about this topic, or when we went to try to cross-sell something else, or they agreed to this option on the best, and then we wanted to upsell them to siding, and maybe we started with an LP, and then we're like, you know what, let's actually go this direction, and also let's tack on gutters. Maybe you were great on the regular option close, the good, better, best. Maybe your tonality, you got a little squeaky going to the siding or going to the gutters, and then same thing rolling into the next, okay? Got to know what gap we're looking at. And then the other thing that I have always found to be very helpful is to just ask your person that you're trying to give feedback what they think the answer is. I know it seems rudimentary, but asking them to be a part of their betterment goes a hell of a lot further than us saying like, you need to do this or you die, okay? That's not really helpful, right? And then once we have not only their buy-in to doing this, but also a willingness to do it, to understand it, and then also to implement it, we just put in a solve. If I've got people that suck at tonality, I'm gonna have them use either one of our other sales reps or I'm gonna have them use our interface to do AI role play and hear their tonality and go through that. The person is gonna be better than the AI. The AI is something that you can always do at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're taking a crap though, okay? They have their places. You do not, it's not one or the other. It's both depending on scenario. Last thing on the takeaways here, difficulty is constant. It's not gonna go away. Your best reps are gonna be the ones that are down to deal with the stress and do something beneficial with it. The response is always gonna be variable. From homeowner, to your point, what's your name again, sir?
Bryce.
James. Bryce. To your point, the homeowner is going to be somebody that is the best person to role play with, right? Technically speaking, because there's entropy, there's other stuff that can happen. The response that you're gonna get back is variable. However, if you look at it against your methodology and your source materials and you practice scenario-specific role plays, well, you can just use the appropriate tonality on the front end and get the same answer every single time. You can decrease variability by controlling the inputs. You can't do that if you don't look at this data, though. When you're doing transcript analysis, that's going to be another layer that you as a sales manager is going to have to do. Because again, unless you're piping it into a tonality tool, you're going to have to go listen. You're probably going to see correlation, not necessarily causation, but correlation between where they mess up transcript-wise and their tonality in the actual recording. You have both. You should use both of them. The other thing to look at here is we're literally just talking about using AI in a roundabout way here to just increase the speed of feedback. That's the way I would use it for sales. I would not try to replace your sales reps. You can use AI agents. We do have them. So does every other company. I think they're great for after hours and forwarding and emergencies. They're wonderful for that because none of you are up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I would not try to replace your sales reps with them. I think that's a poor and misuse of AI. You may fundamentally disagree, and I love that for you. We can agree to disagree. I would not use them for that. They can be used for that, but I would say that you put it back on your sales reps to be better and have them help your sales reps or help you sell more. Cool? That last on the 3 takeaways is that your feedback. You have probably a lot of reps, similar to how I have in my career, that hit plateaus. They go hot, they go cold. They go hot, they go cold. They seem to like blow in the wind sometimes, and it's because they don't have any feedback. They have nobody that's giving them coaching. They have nobody that's looking at like, hey, Jimmy, you're really great to this, but then I don't know if you like crapped your pants or what happened, but like this is what's happening every time you get to this point. So maybe in your 3 times a week or once a day, maybe you need to role play with the whole team. Just because one person is dealing with something doesn't mean you stop the training for everybody. You may have one of you that's amazing at pitching gutters or siding, like just amazing. Maybe it's product knowledge, maybe it's your transition is so smooth and everyone else sucks at it. That's okay. Why not take some time, get the feedback that, hey, rep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is dealing with this and needs some help, and then let's implement a plan and the whole team, including your sales managers. If you are the owner or the sales manager and you don't let your reps see you mess up, you're doing yourself a disservice. A lot of times my sales reps, when I haven't gotten in there and role played with them, put me on a pedestal, which I think is silly. But it's easy for us to do when you don't have interactions that are peer interactions or can't be peer interactions. In training, I jump into the role play. I'll jump in as prospect. I'll jump in on the other side. And I know that that's a little scary. You're like, but I'm the sales manager, but I'm the owner, but I shouldn't do that. I would recommend you do it because oftentimes you're going to be better than them, but you're going to be able to handle the situation with grace and show them something that you just know. because you've done it so many times. Your ability to recognize patterns is far in excess of what theirs is. Give them some of that goodness. You own the company, by the way. You make more money.